Hi guys, and welcome back. Today it's finally time to break down this nano gallery, and boy do I have some work cut out for me. So I feel like I'm ready for something new now. I want to try some new scapes, I want to start some new projects, a lot of exciting things that I would like to try. So firstly, I'm going to be breaking down almost all of these scapes. I've actually already started. I may have lost the footage of this, unfortunately, but sometimes it happens. So I'm only going to be keeping two of them. I'm going to be keeping this Iwagumi scape here and this Hygrophila Pinder feeder scape. The rest of them, I am kind of sad to see them go, but it's also part of the hobby, is just knowing when you want to break down your tanks and start something new. The idea here is to place a shallow tank in the middle of this gallery and keep only 4 of these nano tanks. So 2 on each side. And then I think later this year, I'm going to be scaping some pretty big tanks. But for the gallery, this is what's happening for now. This video is probably going to be filmed over the course of a few days because I don't know if I'm going to be able to do everything I want to do today because it is a lot of work. Starting off with this tank, I'm going to take all the shrimp out and put them into my forest aquarium. This tank, I'm kind of sad to see it go, but it will be back. It will be back under a different form because, like, who doesn't like a full carpet of hair grass? Normally, everything that I'm doing today, I would probably do off camera, but I kind of want to show you guys what I do exactly, what also goes on behind the scenes, because I thought that may interest you. They're literally all hiding in the hair grass. I feel that this is going to be a nightmare to catch all of them, and I may actually have to rip the tank to shreds to catch all of them. I'm going to see how many I can catch this way before I do that, because I kind of don't want to make a mess. There's also like so many baby shrimp, juvenile shrimps. I don't know if you can see them all. There's so many shrimp. They've been doing really well in this tank. So if you're wondering why I'm re-dipping the wood inside the tank, it's just that if there are small shrimp that are still on it, it gives them the chance to swim away. So my guess is there's at least 100 shrimp. I'm not even kidding. Like, this is like in the high 80s. So I am gonna count them afterwards and I'm gonna show you guys, but like I can't believe how many shrimp there are in this tank. Literally, I think I can like pull it out just in one massive mat. That's how much this carpet has grown. So you see people that tell you, oh, you can't grow carpeting plants without CO2. Like, I also want to be careful because I do think there's still a few shrimp in here, so I really want to be extra careful not to leave any behind, because that can happen sometimes. So I'm just going to be extra careful. So you see guys, anybody that tells you that you can't grow carpeting plants without CO2, don't believe them. Like, it's not true. Get yourself a good quality aqua soil and a nice strong light, and yeah, you're gonna have like great success. To be on the safe side, what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna dip these into a white bucket, and I'm gonna see if there's any baby shrimp that come out of it, because I'm kind of concerned that if there are some, I may miss them. So that's what I'm gonna do. Fuck. Well, that was bound to happen at one point. Obviously, all the plants that I'm actually pulling out of the tanks I'm keeping. So right now I've just wrapped them in some plastic wrap to be able to keep them for a good week like this before I start to replant them or put them into a holding tank. But for now, this is what it looks like. So I just want to show you guys how many shrimp are actually catched. There are so many small shrimp. So still have to go through the aquarium in the bucket, but yeah, that's a pretty decent amount of shrimp. So I'm gonna let the filter do some work here. So it's gonna pick up all the dust, and I can see that there's still a few shrimp inside. So I'm just gonna net them out once this is nice and clear and I can see what I'm doing. And same thing for the bucket. I'm gonna wait for all the aqua soil to settle, and then I'm gonna go for it a second time to see if there are any shrimp in there, and then we'll be good for this tank. I'm also keeping the aqua soil in this tank, so I will be emptying it and I will just bag all the old aqua soil. So if I want to use that for an upcoming scape, I can. Okay, so meanwhile all this is settling, I'm gonna pull out these moss rocks of this tank, and I'm really apprehensive to do so because they are pretty big and I don't want to scratch the tank. So I'm gonna have to be extra careful here. So there aren't too many baby shrimp in this tank. There's a lot of juveniles, but they're not like tiny, tiny shrimp. So this is gonna be pretty easy, I do think, shrimp-wise. Jeez, I'm so scared. Don't drop it. Don't drop it, don't drop it. This doesn't look like it, but it weighs a fair amount. I didn't like that sound. Oh, God. Okay guys, come on, off the rock. So again, you can see me like re-dipping it. It just gives the small shrimp a chance to swim away. Obviously I will be checking all the moss just to be sure, but it looks pretty good. Okay, so next up, I'm going to take these transparent shrimp that are here and I'm going to put them with the second transparent shrimp colony I have here, and then I'm going to put these blue ones in this one. So then this one will be completely empty. I think that was like so easy compared to catching the cherry shrimp. Like the sheer amount of weeping moss on these rocks is just crazy. So again, I'm gonna save this, I'm gonna put it aside. I do have a lot of weeping moss, so I don't know if I'm gonna use this. If I don't, I will just compost it in my garden. But that's a lot of moss. I could almost put this on my head and it looks like a wig. I'm not gonna let my intrusive thoughts win on that one. A little bit of visible damage here. What I had done is I had painted the top of this cabinet with a latex waterproof paint. We can see like there's a little bit of damage. Unfortunately, the tank that was on the end is just slightly bigger than these square ones. So if I don't repaint it a little bit, it's gonna show. So quickly gonna do that and then I think I'm gonna call it a day. Okay, so that's the end of day one. I am exhausted. I've been filming for, it's been 4 hours now. So yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Okay, so day two, and I have one more tank to tear down and then I have to move all the other tanks. So again, pretty straightforward. This time I think that instead of ripping the plants out, I'm actually going to trim them all the way down to the aqua soil. So then it's just going to be easier. It's going to make less mess. And I'm going to be able to see what I'm doing when I put out the shrimp. That's so many plants. So like I said, I'm just going to cut them at the base. Throw them in this bucket and then I can take the tank apart. I'm actually seeing, is that what I think it is? I can actually see Hydra. I have Hydra in this tank, so I'm gonna have to treat the plants before I put them into a holding tank because otherwise it's just gonna spread everywhere. So apart from the Hydra, I have to say, like, these stems, like, they're looking great. This is Bacopa. I don't remember which one it is, but it's looking pretty good. I'm going to reuse all these stems for some scapes that are coming up. Look at that. So now that I've got all the plants out of the tank and into this bucket, I've just added some fresh clean water. And what I'm going to do to treat against Hydra is I'm going to use this product. So initially this is a product against planaria, but it also works for Hydra. So I'm going to dose this extremely strongly and I'm going to let it sit for the next few days, rinse the plants. So the shrimp that I had in here, they are lower grade shrimp. So there's nothing wrong with them. Some people heavily cull their shrimps. I don't do that. I just put them in other tanks so then they can live their little life. But these ones, I will sort them out later and put them in different tanks. Because I have a few different types in here. So just like we saw yesterday, there's also some damage here. We can see like the foam mats have like pressed into the latex paint. So there's going to be a shallow tank that's going to be sitting on this. And again, I don't think it's really going to show, but yeah, just make it nice and clean. I want to apologize if I seem kind of off in this second part of this video. I've actually had some really bad news today and it's affecting me psychologically, so yeah. Okay, so I'm finally done. Clean slate, everything's looking nice and clean and ready for some new scapes. So guys, thank you so much for watching and I will see you next week for a new video.